And welcome to another ATP Geopolitics video with myself, Jonathan, the MS Pierce. This is a Ukraine war chat with you guys. Cheers. It's cold here. I need a cup of tea. I am going to give an announcement to y'all today. And the announcement is, it turns out I've been arrested by the UK police for being too cool. And as part of the agreement that the UK government has with the Kremlin, I'm going to be drafted into the Russian armed forces. And no, obviously not. That's not what's going on. I have sort of got tentative permission from t'other half. And on the fairly consistent badgering and quality good loving badgering of Pierre Dupont, who I've interviewed previously, who's working for base.ua, a charity in Ukraine doing amazing stuff, and also badgering from Greg Terry, I've decided that I'm going to go to Ukraine next month. And that's quite a big thing for me. And I'll talk about this all with you. There's lots really to mention about this, and lots of doubts I have in my head, lots of wondering whether this is kind of like a good idea, etc., etc. So I would go to Ukraine, I think, for a week, maybe 8 days. There's a lot of traveling involved to get to Ukraine and to get to where you want to. So you've got to factor that in as to where you go and whatnot. But this is something I've been thinking about for some time, and something that if I was able-bodied, I would do like that. But having said that, if I was able-bodied, I'd still be teaching. I wouldn't be doing YouTubing, and I wouldn't probably be as interested or as obsessed in the Ukraine war as I am now. And so, you know, these hypotheticals, I don't know how useful they are. But if I was able-bodied, I'd be out there. If I was YouTubing in the way I am now. But I'm not able-bodied. I have progressive primary multiple sclerosis, and this is a real challenge for me. I don't want to be a drain on anyone who is out there helping me. That would be Greg and that would be Pierre. Both of them have basically said, I will look after you 100%. Pierre's sent me an itinerary of like, we're going to go here, we're going to do this. You know, this is before I'd even said yes. This is part of the like trying to convince me to go out there, and he succeeded, right? But you know, we'll do this, we'll do that. You can meet with John Sweeney in Kiev. We'll have a day there, so on and so forth. But the reality is, I have PPMS. And with PPMS, there are issues to contend with. So, you know, fatigue. Physically, I am just not very able. Like, I'm not very good at walking. And, you know, when you're stumbling over, you know, down the road in places without great accessibility, or, you know, just moving from here to there, like, how much will I need help of others? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to, if I'm going to be there with, say, Greg and or Pierre, and they are doing really meaningful stuff to help Ukrainians, and I'm there hindering them doing what they are doing, then I'm not being of use. So the question for me is, why am I going? Why have I agreed to go out there? Is this just a personal thing that I want to do for myself? Well, there's going to be an element of that, of course. You know, there's going to be this idea that I really want to go to Ukraine because I feel it's important from a personal point of view in terms of where I am in life with what I find really important. And also a personal kind of thing with, I've got a deteriorating neurodegenerative autoimmune condition. That means I'm as good now as I will ever be in my entire life. I ain't getting any better, and it is just all downhill from here. And I've had stem cell therapy, interestingly, in Moscow. Some of you members would have watched my video that gives you an account of what I went through back in 2018 to 2019 for the treatment. But I'm not getting any healthier. And so this is the best I'll ever be. And so to do something like going to Ukraine, like, that's something I have to do, I guess, now, if I'm going to do it at all. Okay, so there's that kind of personal thing. But what's the point of me going, really? Well, it's going to be to do reporting from there and to meet people and to help maybe in any way with the aid distribution with those people. But actually, again, will I be a help? Will I be a hindrance? So really, it's going to be about interviewing and communicating, not as a way of like making my channel any better or bigger or anything like that. This isn't anything to do with self-aggrandizement, but this is hopefully to help to get viewers a better understanding of the reality of what is going on. I don't know whether I'll ever change anyone's mind really about Ukraine. I don't think you're going to be coming to me if you're maybe if you're teetering on the fence a little bit and you want a little bit more information, but it's going to be a minimum, isn't it? Really. So I'm not sure that that is particularly important. So I just want to make sure that I'm going for the right reasons and that actually there will be some kind of use in me going. Actually, this is great because Greg is on the live chats, and I've been chatting to him today, like saying I think I'm gonna talk about this. That's so very kind of you, Greg. The thing is, I'm not very mobile, right? So there's that. I can't feel my fingers very well. Okay, that's not all that important. My upper body's fairly good. It's my lower body that's an issue. And things like, my bladder is not very good. I mean, the great thing is I work from home, and every time I drink a lot of tea. I won't be drinking tea out there because it's a diuretic. But one of the issues with multiple sclerosis is that you just need to go to the toilet all the time. So I just pause the video, pop out, pop back. You guys don't really know because it's just like it's a flash of editing or whatever. Not even editing. I just press pause and then play. But in Ukraine, like, how is that going to be? How's that going to be with me traveling? I'll be traveling on my own from the UK to Europe, and then from Europe into Ukraine. And so, how is all that going to be? How confident am I? Now, this is really interesting because I've always been kind of a fearless person. I've backpacked around the world several times. I've just, I kind of do what I want in a sense with my life. Like, I don't, I'm not a conservative person in that respect. I'm very much sort of a liberated person and will do things readily. And so therefore I'm not afraid of anything other than actually my illness and how that will constrain me or constrain others around me, because again, as I say, I don't want to be a drag on anyone. So it's that's a real sticking point for me, is that I just need to check, because I have offered Matt, and indeed, because it looks like Matt is on the live chat. Matt, I have offered you to come and have a chat live with me, by the way, Matt Bishop in the live, and I've sent you the link. And I've asked James if he wants to come on live. He says, give me 15 minutes to walk home from the restaurant. So I'm just going to say I'm on now, but pop on. I'm on now, but pop on. So there you go. This is live. This is how I roll. Pop on when you get back. Okay. So anyway, this is what I'm going through in my head. I also need to think about. In fact, I'm just reading some of the live chat here. I'm also thinking about what I need. Like, if I do this, and I think I will. Like, now I've kind of got permission from my other half. That was like the main sticking point. Because we've got two twin boys, 13-year-old twin boys, and one of them is challenging as a child. He's on the spectrum, and he is challenging. He has something called PDA, pathological demand avoidance, which is one of the most challenging things for any parent for their child to have in terms of kind of behaviorally and whatnot. So, leaving my children and saying to my partner, see you later, I'm off for a week. Good luck with the boys and everything like that. Is something I need to think about. But so it's great that she said she's come around to the idea, which is cool, and she knows I'm obsessed with Ukraine and how much this means to me. So that's one of those those challenges. Greg as well is up for coming on. Okay, now we're rocking and rolling. Let's just invite Greg. Sorry, this is all such a last minute thing. I just decided to do. Here we go. I've sent Greg a link, and yeah, I don't know what it will entail. Me going around. So what I was going to say to you earlier is that it's also about the equipment. What equipment do I need to go around Ukraine? And I'll obviously talk to Greg and Pierre, as I have been already, actually, in terms of what I need. But the big thing that I'll need, I have to obviously take my laptop and webcam and headphones and all that. But actually, what I think I need is a camera whereby I can record people, do good video interviews with people. So I need a kind of digital SLR camera and battery packs for that and memory cards and all that kind of stuff. And I know jack about stuff like that. So Pierre is a photographer. I've been talking a little bit to him. I'll come back to this. I'm going to add good old Greg.
Let's go, man.
Hey, Greg, how are you, mate?
I'm rolling, buddy. Your seat is
Literally.
right there.
Hey?
Your seat is ready.
Keep it warm, mate. Well, like, this is all a bit of a, I say, last minute thing. I mean, this was last night where I decided that this could be a thing to do, and I was looking at cameras on eBay and stuff. So it's like you know you're serious when you're looking at equipment to buy. So what do you think would happen if I did get out there? Bearing in mind there's you and Pierre who have both so kindly offered to kind of help me out.
Okay, so let me tell you how this is gonna be beneficial for you. First of all, if you'll get, and I know you got a huge crowd on here watching right now. I'm actually en route from one zero line to another. Anyway, can't tell you where, but anyway, here's how it's gonna work, Johnny. If you'll get to Warsaw, I will come to Warsaw on a train, pick you up, put you in a first class train cabin. You will be extremely comfortable, and I will get you all the way into Ukraine. You can connect with Pierre however you wish, and what's beneficial there. As far as I see all the people in there saying, I'll go be your security. It actually will be easier if you're alone. I will provide your security, and you will not have to worry about it. I have body armor ready for you. I have everything ready for you. As far as peeing a lot, you will have to be a really good peer to out pee us. Secondly, the way my partner and I travel, we're rolling. Welcome. So the way we do it, Johnny, all you have to do is say, "Man, I gotta pee." We're pulling over. Okay, we have our entire route. We have food. We have the highest military clearances. We have everything. Sir, I will take you straight to Kherson in the most secure location that nobody in the world knows about. And you will literally get out of your vehicle and walk right to where you're staying with no problems with your MS. I will take you to places that you have reported on extremely safely. And I mean, I'm here. And we've been doing this. You were the first one, Johnny, that gave me opportunity to start sharing what I do. I mean, last night, if you guys didn't see the stream, Johnny, we're signing battle flags for guys that if I could tell you guys where they're fighting, all of you would drop your tea and coffee right now. So we have the infrastructure.
I shared that video. By the way, everyone go and check out. Obviously, subscribe to Greg's channel. That's a given. But check out his. I don't know if it's a live in the end. It would have been. It was a premiere, wasn't it?
Yeah. Click on video.
So we go to video here. Cool. Yeah, it's this one, the zero line one. So it's just
12 hours ago.
Go and check that, and there's a flag, a battle flag with our names on it. Thank you very much, Greg. What a legend!
Yes. Your ATP Geopolitics is on a battle flag that is on one of the most hot places on the entire war front. Your whole community, Johnny's with them. Dr. Gertis is signed, Rick is signed, and I signed, and it's incredible. So what I can tell you is Um, I got your back, buddy. I understand, health issues. Not only that, the guy that is traveling with us, the doctor, he was a full medic on Maidan when the students were being sniped from the Hotel Ukraina. We got you, buddy. I promise you.
I mean, I have these moments where I just think, right, if I die in Ukraine, actually, I'm not too bothered. I'm bothered for my family and everything. But from an existential point of view, like, not to get all depressed about it, but I'm not depressed. Like, I've had a good life. My health is only going to go down. My cognitive faculties are only going to go down from here. Like, I am at the best. Every day is the best I'll ever be going forward. Like, and that's how I see life. And so, I've often thought, do you know what? They get run over by a bus. It's not really a big issue because I've had a great, fulfilled life. This sounds like I'm going to die tomorrow or something, but just from a point of view, when I'm risk assessing my own life, right? I'm not particularly worried for my own sake. Like, I'm all right, Jack. I've had a great life, but it's just, you think, well, is it safe? Am my family going to be okay? I'm going to be out there completely uninsured and all that kind of stuff. But then, as you say, as others are saying, you only live once, and yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. First of all, we only work with military, so that's the securest thing that you can have. And when whatever we decide upon, where you're comfortable to go, we only go as the clearance is there, the security is there, the intelligence is there, everything that we need. When we take you into Kherson, I'm taking. If you're not opposed, I'm taking you to Kherson, buddy. And when we're in Kherson, you'll be riding around in a fully equipped, blacked out vehicle running night vision with all military intelligence. We got you. I promise you. I'm here. I'm alive, and you will be too.
Good man. Just like Rick Anderton is saying, steps to the subway in Kiev could be a challenge. I only put that up because I'm fairly sure Rick's a Pompey lad, one of my a local lad to me, which is, thanks for saying that. But so many people kindly, I mean, I'm not asking, this is not why I'm doing this, but I've got 100 Canadian dollars coming for the camera fund via PayPal. That's really kind. I am Davin. Thank you so much. But I'm not asking for that, but thank you. I find
Johnny,
this interesting. Yeah.
There's escalators on the lift in Kiev in the metro. Don't worry.
Happy days.
Okay. Secondly, Virginia, if for some reason we have to pick Johnny up and carry him up a few steps, you think we got a few friends that are huge that can pick him up?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely.
I love this. Frank van der Stam says, it's the happiest I've seen you, Jonathan. Happy for you. What's quite weird about this is because, like I was saying earlier, I used to be a fearless person. I've been backpacking a number of times. Holidays have all been very active. But in the last, I guess, 4 or 5 years of my life, I've been restricted by my health. And this is, in some sense, an opportunity. So maybe there is a personal element to this, an opportunity for me to just experience some kind of risky challenge that I otherwise wouldn't have experienced. So that's just a personal thing. That could be why you're seeing me smile quite a lot. But I also, part of what comes with multiple sclerosis is I get emotional way more than I ever used to. I can cry watching an advert that pulls the heartstrings, right? Like you will notice me sometimes tearing up, like doing videos like this, or videos online where it's like quite emotional stuff, and I'll start to tear up because, man, like MS just messes with my emotions. It's really annoying.
So
yes.
what you're saying is, as I told you, we're completely prepared for you. So when you have your slobbering events, when I actually set you in front of a commander and he asks you, would you please sign my battle flag that the guys are taking into X location? I've got plenty of toilet paper for you to wipe all the snot off your face.
Happy days. Nothing like some slobbering on camera. So we've got Matt joining in live. So Matt Bishop, I don't know if you've you come across him, Greg, as on any of my streams, but Matt was formerly living in Kharkiv before getting out at the beginning of the war with his Ukrainian wife. He now lives in Perth in Australia. So welcome on board, Matt.
Yeah, hi. It's
Hi,
been a
Matt.
while. Hi, Greg. I say we've talked in chat, so
Are you
Yeah,
in?
yeah.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Australia now.
Oh, you're in Australia right now. Okay.
Yep, yep. The
yeah,
wonders
you,
of technology.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
Unbelievable.
Australia on the road in Ukraine,
Right there.
and of
I can
course
show you
there's
this. I can show you this. There you go.
beautiful clear day, beautiful clear day. So yeah, Matt, you might know him as Saberint on the chats. That's what he goes by.
Ah,
But
awesome.
yeah, yeah. So thank you so much to the people in the super chats. I'll come to them in a second. So what are the challenges of and it's a kind of question for both of you, if you can answer, or Matt, what do you think the challenges will be going to Ukraine?
none, depending on who's going with you. So, uh, if you can get someone to go with you to get you, because you're going to go via Poland, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So just to get you across the border, and then wherever Greg's going to be, you just got to meet up with him.
yeah. Happy days.
Matt,
It's
I'm gonna go to Poland and get on the train with
meet him.
him, and
Okay,
I'm gonna get him across the border.
So
easy.
here's the situation. So let's have a look at Poland. I will likely be
I'll
landing in
just
Krakow.
I'll just put in here. I've just been asked by the Australian immigration to get a federal Ukrainian police clearance, and the only way I currently know how to do it is to fly to Ukraine to actually apply in person. So I might just end up popping into Bristol, saying hello to my aunt, taking you across, and joining you all. I honestly don't know yet. We'll find out in the days to come on where I am. But yeah, you know,
Matt,
Wowzaroonies.
it could be
Matt,
funny.
if that worked out that way, I've got one more seat for you.
Ah, excellent, excellent. I can hold on to the roof, mate.
No,
I'm
no, no,
flexible.
no. We have one. We got Johnny's seat, and we've got one more. Well, welcome.
Excellent.
That's
There you go.
very kind of you, Greg. Yeah, so Krakow is where I'll be landing. Is that more difficult than Warsaw? Do you need me to get to Warsaw? Of course, we don't have to talk about this live.
No, no, no,
If
no
you're
problem.
flying from Bristol, you're probably landing in Katowice, aren't you? If you're doing
I wouldn't. No, I'd be going from somewhere else, from a local airport.
yeah,
Uh,
no, because you fly from well, say if you can get up to Bristol, you've got God, is
yes.
it Wow Air or something
So
that goes into
yeah,
Katowice?
no, I mean, I don't want to I don't want to telegraph to the FSB exactly
Sorry.
where we go, but but it's likely going to be Krakow, to be honest. But that seems kind of equidistant from Warsaw to Lviv, so I don't know.
Uh,
Who knows?
Johnny, you just get to Poland, Krakow, Warsaw. Doesn't matter. We got you.
Yeah.
Legend. Legend. So I need to thank you very much for these kind super chats and whatnot. Don't really know what to say about them. So I'll just show them really quickly. Sorry, I know you're on the travel there. Greg, thank you, Lawrence, again for gifting the memberships, and Julian Roster, really, really kind, and Richard Bennett. All of these three are just amazing supporters of the channel. Brian Ivy, who's equally an amazing supporter, and I love with Brian Ivy because we quite often have differences of opinion with regards to politics, but he's such a lovely supporter of the channel that I love the channel when it works to talk across the aisles in that way. So your camera fund, get your butt to Ukraine. Thanks, Brian. That means an awful lot. Louise Foley for Australia, towards the camera fund. That's very kind of you. And good luck and Godspeed, says Tom Marnie as well. And finally, Johnny Christensen from Denmark. KJP, go for it. Money for the camera fund. Johnny from Denmark. Thank you, everybody. That is amazing. So I'd be interested, Greg, how do you sleep at night? Not as in like how do you sleep at night, but literally how do you sleep at night? Do you go to different flat apartments that you have links at or that you own, and then you're sleeping in a bed at night?
Okay, so I have my own apartment in Slonitsky with one of my best friends forever. I have my own place. Additionally, in Kiev, my partner here has Zhenya, his wife, and we have another apartment there that we use as a base. And so we would have lodging there. In
I've got an
I was
apartment in
in a certain
Kharkiv.
region down. It's got an apartment in Kharkiv, and then tonight I'll be sleeping with soldiers on the very front with my own buddies. Additionally, I also have certain hotels that I stay at that I trust that are very, very good, not expensive. You'll have your own bed. You'll have your own showers. Johnny, I got you, buddy. Everywhere you'll have a nice warm bed. And in Kherson, I've got the palace of palaces waiting for you.
Yeah. So
you'll have a
I
bed.
wasn't angling.
You'll have a
I wasn't angling for a nice bed. By the way, I was just interested in
but I'm
the physical.
listen.
Yeah.
You'll have a bed warm. You'll have a shower. You'll have food. It's done.
It won't be the first time I've been to Krakow if I do go. David Haskell, it's the best pint to start your journey. I presume he means best point to start your journey, but best pint probably as well. Start your journey to Ukraine. Certainly, as I found traveling to Lviv several times this year. That's interesting. I've been to Krakow before. My friend owns a backpackers in Slovakia,
Johnny,
and so I've been to Krakow from there. But anyway, yes, mate.
I've got to mute. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm just muting for 1 second.
Yeah,
I've
course,
got a
mate.
block checkpoint to go through. Hang on.
Yeah, of course, mate. Of course.
And I just got bought a cup of tea, but my wife refuses to come on camera.
But yeah, so my mate has a backpackers in the Tatras Mountains in Slovakia, somewhere around here, and I've been to Zakopane and Krakow before, so it won't be the first time I've been to Krakow, but yeah, that would be probably where I go to, and then on to Lviv, and then through. So I guess the question would be, but Greg is muted. The question would be for me is how much time is spent traveling from, say, the UK to starting off doing, Ukraine, I guess, and that. Yeah.
Is a 3-hour flight to Poland, and then I think 5 hours to get across the border. I've always flown across, so I'm not totally sure on that train. Greg would know that one better. And then you're in Ukraine, and then you're rocking and rolling.
Greg. I thought Greg was trying to say something there.
No, he's busy looking cool.
Yeah, I'm back now. We got through the block post. So it'll be 30 minutes on the Polish side where they'll stamp your passport. You got me yet?
Yeah. I'm listening intently.
Do you have me?
Yes. I've got you. We heard you all loud and clear.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Yep, it's fine.
4, 5,
I can
6.
hear you. I presume he can't hear us, but we can hear him.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, mate.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I was in a block post, and now we cleared. So Polish border. Okay. Now I can hear you now.
Yep, good stuff.
Yep.
I think there's like a 20-second lag or something going on.
Let me reconnect.
So I know that people in the chat are talking about insurance. So I don't know what it's like in the States and other places around the world, but when you go traveling from the UK, basically whenever you go on holiday, you get travel insurance. You have to have insurance for, well, you don't have to, but basically everyone gets travel insurance.
Smarter too.
Yeah, it's a done thing. You go on holiday, you get travel insurance. But travel insurance, same as I understand it with car insurance, as according to what Ava Wordsworth was saying in the live chat with her the other night, is that it goes as far as the border of Ukraine, and then they won't insure you inside Ukraine. So all the time I'll be in Ukraine, I would be uninsured, and that's the risk you've got to take, and that's the end of that one. There's no way around that, really.
Yeah, and look, Ukrainian healthcare automatically covers travelers in Ukraine.
Interesting.
The only issue is, you get no special treatment unless you're dipping into your own pocket. But things have changed. No longer are you paying the nurse to, you know, put a needle in your arm or something like that. So, things have changed drastically in the last 10 years.
This is amazing. So Aaron, sorry to interrupt, but Aaron Adair has just given us a super sticker. Aaron Adair is a co-author of mine, and we are writing another book at the moment. Actually, we're halfway through it, or probably over halfway through it. I've written my half, but I wrote it like in 2020 during lockdown, and I was waiting for a co-author to get well from COVID, and she's not really been up to it since then. So Aaron's taken over, and we'll produce our second book. Our first book were Aliens and Religion, the impact of on religion, of discovering intelligent alien life out in the universe, and that was a really cool book. We released that last year. Now he's on this live, so thanks so much, Aaron. That he's a legend, such a lovely guy, good man, and we've had many live streams together on my other channel, so you can check them out. But cheers, mate. But sorry, mate, you were saying?
No, I was just saying, the hospital, the medical treatments changed a lot in the last 10 years, and you don't have to pay the nurses and the doctors to do their jobs. So you just get treated like a normal person. I mean, in Ukraine, I had COVID vaccinations before, most of the people in the UK were getting them. Definitely the people in Australia were getting them. I was getting my COVID vaccines over there free of charge, and I was a foreigner. So,
Yeah, interesting. Hi, Greg. Can you hear us now, mate?
Yeah. So evidently, they're at the block post. They're smashing signals. So, which is fine.
Clever.
Yeah. So it took me. I had to clear it by a few kilometers. Anyway, I know where you guys are. I was listening over here. So as far as the train clearing the border, you're 30 minutes on the Polish side, and that'll be a piece of cake. And then we actually go into Ukraine a few kilometers, and we clear there. I'll be with you with all my docs and speaking the language, and it's a piece of cake, no problem, because they know we're there to stand with them.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
the question here from Lag Monster is that will you guys be doing any live streams from Ukraine? I mean, this would be one of the main things I'd like to do, certainly recording interviews and putting out content still. What's it like? And I know this is sort of stuff I should probably talk to you off air about, but
It's stuff I can talk to you. Mm-hmm.
Is it, well, just for the audience, whether this is interesting for them. What's it like? Actually, this is an important conversation. Or an important question. What is internet coverage like generally around Ukraine? We hear a lot about this being very good, but is this the case?
So I have a mobile set up. So right now you can see this piece of equipment on the front of my truck, and
Yep.
I'm running every band of internet coverage there is on every mobile carrier. So
Yeah.
I switch between them. Additionally, we run Starlink. So for us, we have zero problems.
That's awesome.
And is one able to upload like video files to YouTube doing that?
I mean, if via a mobile connection, 150 up and 100 down is okay. I think you're good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty amazing.
As far as going live, as you can see, I'm always dropping videos every day. But now I'm live with you now. Why? Because a moving target's hard to hit, and it's no problem for me to be calling in live. But when we're in some positions, for example, if you agree and I take you to Hedderson, we would never go live from Hedderson, but we would record from in Hedderson and then upload hours later when we're in a safe zone.
Interesting. That's really good to know. We've been joined by James, who's way in Ukraine, American in Ukraine. I don't know if you interacted with each other at all, Greg.
Well, I had no idea. It's great to meet you, Greg. I've heard a lot. And Matt, what are you drinking today?
Actually, it's ginger beer.
Nice.
So it's non-alcoholic.
It's
Bundaberg ginger beer. Yeah,
it's lush. Very nice.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Greg, I that your device on your dashboard.
So
that's awesome. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you. I think there's probably a bit of a delay with Greg.
I'll just tell you. I mean, this stuff I can tell you. So, we're safe. Hold on, I don't know if I got them yet.
And Mark's telling us to go to Alina's house.
Oh yeah, we lost it there.
R-
I'll come back to it.
Right. Yeah. So,
How far are we from
Frank to Stan. So I'll take this opportunity to say thanks so much to Frank to Stan, Frank Van der Stan. Epic News feels like the whole ATP crew will be there. Hi to Greg. Absolutely fantastic video yesterday. I don't know if Greg can hear that, but that's good feedback for his video. I've shared that. I'll probably try and share it again on different media platforms later. Zoe Blackmore, towards the equipment you might need. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Goodness. I mean, that's not the intention of doing this live stream, but it's a happy collateral. But thank you. That's really very kind. And AJ Simo is another great supporter, gifted 5 memberships, legend. And then, goodness me, as if Mark couldn't be any more kind. Mark Biscu, such a generous soul. As Kherson is Olena's hometown, we're excited to see you there. Go for it. It'll be quite incredible if I can get to some of these places. Of course, these are not incredibly safe place, so this does come with risk. It's not without risk, and that is something I need to bear in mind. But Greg is very confident that everything should be all right. But of course, you can't control everything. What are you hearing at the moment in terms of just general chitter chatter from Ukrainians in Ukraine, James, at the moment?
It's very interesting. I was talking about on my live stream for my time this morning. For other people, it was evening. About how the Ukrainians have, let's just say they have a democracy, okay? And when they don't like something, they let their government know. And they did not like the government's plans for mobilization, for the draft, for conscription. They didn't like the way the Ukrainian government was doing it, and they threw it back. And so the Ukrainian parliament, the Verkhovna Rada, has withdrawn its proposals about conscription. And I mean, they're going to have to do it at some point. But they, as I said, I think, I don't know, a week ago or something, they're going to have to be careful. They're going to have to do it smartly. They're, all about all of that.
Yeah, they need boots on the ground. Greg, I mean, I don't know if you caught that, but James was talking about how the Ukrainian parliament had sent back the mobilization acts, if you like, or proposals to be looked at. What are you hearing from people on the front line with regard to mobilization? Obviously, it's really needed.
How about we do this? How about you talk to Ukrainian about it?
Yeah.
Mobilization.
Yeah. Where are we at?
Oh, it's so let's say we're in the middle. It's a moment of let's say changes, the bridge between different waves, and people who really were ready to go to fight, they already there. The rest are digesting that, but it's non-stop, and people are still going to protect the country. So I see just normal process, which is some people experience it here, and which is okay for that. They just need to come through, all of us.
Yeah. The reality is this: it's up and down.
Yep.
It's up and down. As far as the political stuff you guys are seeing out of the Rada and all of that, that's just going to unfold. But the reality is, Ukraine needs soldiers.
Yeah.
Period.
And things are tougher on the front line than certainly I communicate, because it's very difficult. There's, with all the OPSEC going on, the operational security going on, I will report like Russian losses, and I'll say I just don't know what the Ukrainian losses are. Of course, as long as the ratios are good, then this is beneficial for Ukraine. But even you know, if you are suffering only like 1 to 5 losses, that is still going to trot away at the Ukrainian forces, and the Ukrainians are going to be suffering consistent degradation of their forces. And that's something I'm sure you're experiencing in going to the front lines. You know, this is war, and whatever is going on, it will be tough for both sides. There's absolutely no doubt about this. So we mustn't have this false sense of how wonderful, or not wonderful, but how well it's going for Ukraine. This is a war, and they are, you know, they are being attrited.
It is a war. In some areas, it's going well for Ukraine. In other areas, it is not. They are desperate and need supply. We are entering into 2024, where last night, and I am a conservative Republican, but last night Donald Trump smashed everybody in Iowa, Iowa. That is a problem. It is a major topic of discussion here that we know in 11 months we're out. Yesterday, I was meeting with a military, the head of a military regional administration personally. In fact, there was a Denmark delegation there that was to meet with him, and our meeting ran over, and they had to wait. And it was because, I mean, delegation from Denmark, and I was in there chatting with him because we were talking about reality. We're thankful for the Denmark delegation, but I was leaving him and going to the front line. They were coming to say hello and go back to Denmark. So he was wonderful, and he says, man, it's tough. We're fighting for the victory. We're going to win this war, but some of the times we need to tell more truth. And the truth is, Russia has many more resources. We don't have to talk about North Korea. We don't have to talk about Iran. They have more resources that the world just seems to ignore. And the first half of the war, and I'm basically, you know, now summarizing conversations, the first half of the war, the world wanted to make jokes about the second army in the world, and even they shoot down their own airplanes and da-da-da-da-da. That's fine. But the reality is they can just keep sending soldiers as a meat grinder, and they don't care. So that's what Ukraine has to defend against.
Yeah, both of those things are true. Like, on the one hand, Russia is completely underperforming, and they have had some terrible, there's evidence of just terrible command and control and tactics and this and that. But on the other hand, it doesn't really matter to them because they have this overwhelming mass. Quantity has its own quality. I did my second news video today is not yet out because of the delays I'm having in uploading, but it's ready to go now, and I'll put it out in a wee while. But I do apologize to some of my American viewers, but I do spend a little bit of time on that, talking about the Iowa primaries, the Republican primaries last night, because they are that important, and looking at what the ramifications are with regard to you know, Ron DeSantis, I think is out, and he's gone. Ramaswamy has dropped out, but both of those two players will have most of their voters go to Trump, and so it's going to be Trump against Haley, really, and Trump will get in, but then his legal woes, and then it's Trump versus Biden. And so there are lots of things that can still happen. But the reality is that $61 billion aid package is still being held up. And we have a Democrat president, and we have a Democrat Senate, and a slim Republican majority in the House of Congress. House of Representatives, and we still have had 3.5 months or something like that of that package not getting through. Right, I am really worried about this. I'm thinking, there's part of me thinking that package will never get through, and this is like, as much as we say Europe is picking up the pieces, right? America is in a unique position with its massive armed forces and its massive defense budget, such that it is so important to Ukraine. Ukraine cannot prevail without the US, but Russia can't win. But you can have a situation where Russia don't win, but Ukraine don't win as well, and you get that's more likely what's going to happen, which is neither of the sides win. But actually, that's worse for Ukraine because, you know, they'll have to concede some of their territory to Russia, and so on and so forth. So it's really frustrating me at the moment. I'm a little bit down, politically speaking. Over to you guys.
I mean,
reality, man.
Yeah, this is crunch time. This is crunch time. Let's face
Reality.
it.
I don't want
For
to
all
speak.
of us. Yeah, I mean, Greg laid it down for sure, and I was just reading, some of the, I hate to say it, I wasn't keeping track of the polls in Iowa, and somebody said that Trump getting 50%, and the exit polls saying that only 7% of Iowa voters listing geopolitical concerns, and that's, I mean, maybe that's just Iowa.
But that's understandable, right? Because people have their own issues, and they're obviously going to put their own issues first. I just think that this is such an important global issue. It really, really is. And Iowa is Iowa, so it has, as you say, James, it has its own like political kind of microcosm there, which is very particular. It's very, very Republican leaning, and that's not surprising that it voted in that way. I'm in no way surprised by the statistics that are coming out, but that just worries me going forward, and because I'm so concerned about Ukraine. Obviously, you guys know me; it is my number one concern in the world, and so this is a challenge to that. Sorry, I'm talking too much. Over to any of you guys.
No, you're fine. You're fine. This just shows we just have to work harder and smarter. That's I'm talking to the four of us and everybody watching. We just gotta.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, this is also a concern of mine from days here. I have my concerns that America will be fighting the Middle East and Asia, China, as well, as much risk of being stretched thin. Things are fires are burning around the world.
It's all the same war. That's what it is right now. It is the totalitarians teaming up, and in all our democracies, we have to step up. It's that simple.
Exactly. I mean, I hate to say it, guys. I don't mean to be like doom and gloom, but let's take a real look at it. And, it is the lines are being divided in the same way that they were during World War II. The lines are mainly along ideology. I would say it's different from World War I. World War One, the battle lines were divided up by interest and geography, but that's no longer the case. It's about how are we going to live our lives? What kind of society do we want to have? What kind of a culture do we want to have? And what kind of governments do we want to have? And the simple fact of the matter is that we are realizing now that democracies cannot tolerate the existence of non-democracies.
That's why Ukraine is a bit of a particular threat to Russia, because it's the green grass over the picket fence from which the Russian population is looking, and it's looking potentially with envy. And so Russia has had to do something about that. We can't have a functioning democracy there. We can't have a functioning economy there. We can't have standard and quality of life there. When you look at these apartment blocks and whole city regions without heating and energy at the moment across Russia, at the same time, Ukraine during a war is able to sort out most of their population in a way that Russia seems to be unable to. That is some green grass that Russia needs to, or at least Putin sees that he needs to do something about.
I mean, DeSantis likely to drop out soon.
I talk about exactly that on my news piece coming out, by the way, Frank. But
the people who were voting for DeSantis, they're going to switch over to Trump.
Mainly,
but mostly. I mean, that's just it.
I've got to say, I really, and I know I sound terrible bagging Americans here, but
go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
Do your worst.
I just wonder. I really wonder at a group of people who sit there and go, there's this $500 million trust fund baby, and he's working for me, the man who's going out and working, my 40-hour week and earning my 30,000 US a year and not living the dream. but having to work every day. How are you seeing this $500 million trust fund baby being your solution to getting
Matt,
out of where you're at?
Yeah, Matt, it's about language. So
Yeah.
imagine if Rishi Sunak,
Oh,
first
God,
of
no.
all, imagine if Rishi Sunak was from Peterborough.
Mhm.
Okay, and he talked like somebody from Peterborough. Oh, hey Mike, I'm from Peterborough. What you want? You want a pack of smokes? Imagine if he was the prime minister. That's what Trump is. Okay,
Mm.
he even that's how he deceives people, because yes, he is a well-heeled trust fund baby, but he talks like a low-class construction worker,
Mhm.
and so people think that, oh, that's who this guy is. It's all about how he uses language. Yeah, it's incredibly deceptive.
Mm.
Welcome back, Greg. Thank you for coming on to this rambling get together.
Well, I had another blog post. We're entering a place, and
Oh, sure, of course.
for sure they're smashing the signal on blog posts, which they should be. So
Yeah.
we're back now and good.
Yeah.
And very high potential right now. I'm between air alarms in certain region I'm in, so we may go air alarm at any moment. So if it does, I'll stay on, but I'll let you hear it.
So one of those things I was thinking, Greg, is as well, because I question, when you're a philosopher and you any thought comes into your head, the first thing you do is question it. So I'm always questioning myself. I'm like, right, why am I going out there? What am I getting out of it? What is the world getting out of it? Does it matter? And I'd say, right, there are $61 million held up in Congress. That's what matters more than me bumbling around Ukraine. But it's like both and. It's like, yes, that is important. It's really important that gets sorted out. But it's also important that we get together and show our support for Ukraine, both from a personal kind of psychological point of view to the people in Ukraine, to say, look, as I see you doing, Greg, which is, I'm here. But I'm not just representing some guy. I'm not just representing me and an American. I am representing people in America and people in the US. People in Australia and people in the UK and people in Germany. It's about communicating that to the Ukrainians, but also delivering aid to Ukrainians. I know I've asked you this before, Greg, but are you still finding people who are appreciating that work that you are doing? Is it making a difference?
100%. And one of the main things, Johnny, is when we're doing this, it is a morale booster. Okay, so when we go on the road and we stop every 30 minutes so that you can pee, and we go into the gas station and the soldiers walk in and we begin to speak to them, the smiles that
This might be the
come on
moment.
their face,
Yeah.
and the joy.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. That's brilliant. And are you finding, so what are the, I know I've asked you this before, but what are the most useful items that you're getting? I saw that you had to go and get a chainsaw yesterday. So the money that hasn't been put towards particular bits of equipment you're now able to use that to buy stuff that they need. You can react to their needs. What are the things they most need out of the stuff that you've pre-bought, and what you find that they need going forward?
Okay, I can tell you very easily. Cat 7 tourniquets, period. Hemostatic bandages. The amount of soldiers being wounded is mind-blowing. And Johnny, when you're with me, you will get the inside story, and then you can facilitate and massage that information to your community. But it's mind-blowing. The medical is horrific. So we're helping. And you say, well, how could that be? Well, guys, it's that way because they're trying to get enough shells to defend their nation. We don't have enough shells to sling at the shaheeds that are flying around. That's reality. So do you go cheaper on a tourniquet and hope for the best, and have access to more defensive equipment.
Yep.
It's terrible. I mean, guys, I'll tell you this. Um, we delivered clips to guys. Okay,
Like
clips.
AK and M4 clips, right?
Well, if you want to know, it's the AK-74U that we had removed from foreign soldiers. But
Okay. Okay.
yes, but we're and listen, when I handed them off, and Zhenya handed them off, it was like we're kissing you on the cheek. Because you're saving our lives. So
Yeah.
you're talking about bonds,
Yeah.
and the morale boost is so intense. And I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Johnny. I've worked in Ukraine for 26 years. I know Ukraine. Okay, and that's why I'm here so much. I have a wonderful wife and children back home in my beautiful home in Pennsylvania. But I can tell you, if my country was at war, this man to my left would be there helping me. Period. That's the way Ukrainians are. So not only am I here to tell the truth, not only am I here to translate Russian propaganda into English and help the world understand it, but I do have a big goal. And okay, so the governments don't want to move, and I know people may laugh or they'll think I'm crazy, but I don't care. Well, maybe I am because I'm here and I'm going to drag Johnny around the front. But listen, I'm going to get to Zelensky. Period. It's going to happen. And when I do, there's going to be one purpose, and that is for him to know that the people of the world are standing with Ukraine. And if we will adjust our strategy a little bit, there will be a tsunami of support coming into Ukraine.
Exactly.
I'm going to get to Zelensky. I'm close.
Slight adjustment. That's right. Just a slight adjustment of strategy. It's exactly right.
Correct.
Do you know? But actually, for me, like one of the main issues is messaging, and it's messaging. So, like in the US, unfortunately, there are certain channels that prevail and have a massive viewership, and those channels aren't messaging the correct things about Ukraine. And then other channels that are pro-Ukraine probably aren't doing good enough on the messaging as well. So there's probably an awful lot of potential support for Ukraine, saying, and I am picking on the US here, but this is going to be the same for most countries. If you just were able to change the messaging in the US, and it's all about accurate information. People in the US and other countries are not getting enough accurate information. And it's garbage in, garbage out. If you have rubbish information about Ukraine, so if you're listening to Marjorie Taylor Greene talk about Zelensky's the most corrupt politician in the world, and
She's
talking
the
about
biggest scumbag on the planet.
yeah. But if you're getting your information from her, you are going to be making bad decisions and having bad opinions. And so therefore it's about the messaging that's going on. And that is one of the biggest challenges in my books.
Well, you know, I'm an American, and I can tell you right now that the news on Ukraine is gone. And for example, you want to talk about the one, I'll call them Fox News.
Yep.
Zero.
Yep.
We're more worried.
They would rather show anything.
No, we're more worried if Taylor Swift gave a smooch to Travis Kelce at the football game. So that's out. CNN was the biggest supporter of Ukraine as far as putting some news out there that was fairly accurate and supportive. That's now gone. The January 1st, 2nd, right before I came, when the 90 missiles rained down on Ukraine, there was zero news. Zhenya called me. I was getting ready to actually head to the airport. I shared my screen on my iPad with him, and so many people had been killed and wounded. I'm scrolling through all the news for him. Zero articles on conservative and liberal media or anywhere in between. And the only article that I found was on CNN, and it had nothing to do with Ukraine. It was listen to President Putin's New Year's Day address translated. That was it, guys. It's gone. Now, in addition to that, when we see the escalation that happens in the Middle East, especially now with Iran getting more active, Israel pounding the Lebanon border, the United States people are going to start to look that way even more. And it's not going to be the best thing for Ukraine. In addition to that, I'm here. I mean, if the air alarm goes off, I'm going to play it for you. 26 years, so connected. And I've got so many people in the United States that I go to them and I'm speaking at different events, and they'll walk up to me, and this is it. This is what they'll say. Greg, listen, we know that you work in Ukraine, and we know you're crazy over there running around the front lines, and you don't care, and you just want to help them. And we so support you, and we're so proud of you for doing that, son. And it's just very commendable. And you know, that's just, you know, the American way. Proud of you. But Greg, even with all that experience and your connections, don't you know that Ukraine really is corrupt and you've got this wrong? I said, okay, so me being there has nothing to do, me speaking the language has nothing to do with it. Yeah, well,
Holy
listen,
shit.
Tucker Carlson knows so much more than you on this topic. I said, okay, this is what I deal with in America, guys.
Yeah, just one of those absolutely astounding claims. Goodness me. Yeah, don't get me started. I'm liable to rants. So I'll just say some nice things from nice people here. Not that you guys aren't nice, by the way. 50 euros. Thank you from www. Pat. Thank you. Your passion is what I value from a news source. Being correct, separating opinion from facts, being clear, how reliable news and correcting afterwards if necessary. Thank you very much. I find that really important. That's important to me. I treat you guys as my sounding board in effect. So what I tell you is what I believe. Now, I would hate to believe the wrong thing. So it's really important to me to believe the right thing. So therefore, what you hear from me is what I believe is right. And if I'm therefore shown to be wrong afterwards, I will correct myself to you, hopefully as often as it happens, because it's so important that I am right. And you know, it's kind of a selfish thing. I don't want to go through life having an incorrect appraisal of what's going on in reality, and so therefore it's really important for me to get it right. And you guys are like the steam boiling off the kettle that is my head, that is my brain, and you guys get to experience that. And yeah, that's me waffling on about how important being accurate is. Thank you so much to Steve, and by the way, thank you to www. Pat. Thank you to Steve A for gifting memberships. He's a great supporter of the channel. So great. Scott Brisson for becoming a member. Slava Ukraini. Thank you for all that you do. And BD Warren, another great supporter of the channel, gifting memberships. And then finally, Paul Guda Deberitz, who's I think putting me in contact with a Norwegian medic on a front line. So I hopefully might be able to do a live chat with him. So he said, in another channel, I read a comment from an Italian civilian contributing to Ukraine aid. I would like to contribute this on behalf of Italy to colour in Italy on Greg's map if it isn't already. That's fabulous. Thank you, Paul. Really good. And of course, you can still contribute directly to what Greg is doing out there and what we are trying to highlight together, which is the work he's doing. So just go to Greg Terry, the Greg Terry Experience on YouTube is your primary way of getting there. Or Greg Terry.
And yes, I will color in Italy.
Excellent.
So I know you guys have an agenda for things that you're talking about, Jonathan. When you're ready, I have, since this is my first chance I've gotten to speak to Greg, I have some questions that I would love to ask before the alarm goes off or your internet dies.
If the alarm goes off, I'm just gonna put my helmet on. We're good.
Okay. Okay. So first of all, Greg, I don't know if you know, I'm here in Ukraine. I'm in Zakarpattia.
Okay, beautiful. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Yeah, I've heard a lot about you, of course. At the moment, I'm in Zakarpattia. Before the war, before the full-scale invasion, I lived in Kyiv. Since the war, I've been living 50% here and 50% in Cherkasy Oblast. So I was in Cherkasy Oblast on Saturday, and and I came here. So
I
yeah.
was in Cherkasy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was
Well,
there. So let me just say this, and then I won't interrupt you. I'll just answer whatever questions you have. When we're done, make
Yeah.
sure we're connected on
Okay.
however we need to be.
Really good.
And the next time you're in Cherkasy and we're coming through, we definitely have coffee.
James signed up.
for sure.
James signed up for the International Legion, but got injured in training, and is hoping to re-sign up again.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so I will be going back, and what I'm doing, you have a lot more experience with all of this than I do, but what I'm doing right now is organizing people to donate from other countries, from the United States. The way I'm doing it, I wanted to do something that no one else is doing, I guess, and so I've set up a Shopify where people can go and order specific things. And my goal is to order things that specific units need and be able to deliver those things to them just using, Nova Postja, essentially.
Yeah.
Because that's,
I use
it's
it
just,
all the time.
yeah, it's just you can check it out. It's whyukraine.myshopify.com.
Okay, I will.
So like,
Trump
for
tag.
instance, right now, where tourniquets is a big thing that people are buying on my website, but also toilet paper, specifically for the International Legion Training Center, because they don't get anyway. I won't. I digress. That's not what I was interested in.
I was actually so okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so wet wipes additionally in addition to that.
Yeah. That's the
Okay,
next
so-
thing that's going up on my site.
Okay,
so,
let me ask you one question.
Please.
How are you distributing that?
I am buying it on like Rosetka and then shipping it to my commander at the Legion in near the Nova Post.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm saying. If this is something that until you can get back into fighting shape or Legion work or whatever is going to be unfolding for your future, if you want to expand that,
I do.
We can help you.
Yeah, we should talk
In
about
fact,
this. This is awesome.
Okay, you need to send me a message, and I'll tell you what else. I'll extend to you. So here's the deal. I've been doing this since day one, but nothing really started to break. We raised $250,000 with no viewers. Period.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, Johnny took a chance on me and invited me on his stream. And then from Johnny, it was Dr. Gertis. And from Dr. Gertis to Rick. Now I'm going to be meeting with Starsky. All these things are starting to click. And that's why I'm telling you, I'm going to get to Zelensky and we're going to put a tsunami of support in this country. But, because I've got friends in the government, I just see here wonderful opportunities for partnerships to happen that demonstrate to the world a safe way to give. And we only work ruku vuruku, okay? I'll translate that. Hand to hand.
Yeah.
And if you would like in the future to take a 6-7 day run and do some ruku vuruku,
hell yeah.
I'll take. Okay.
Hell yeah. You don't have to ask me twice.
So basically, all you'd have to do is get from Transcarpathia to Khmelnytsky on a train, and I got you, and we'll take a run.
Guys, it turns out, to be honest, it turns out I don't need to go to Ukraine anymore. This was all like, okay. James is just going to do it. Like,
okay.
No.
First of all,
Johnny.
Okay.
All right. I'll bring some toilet paper. All right.
It's important. So, all right. So basically, first of all, I want to just offer to the both of you, and I guess Matt, if you want to come too. Where I am in Zakarpattia, there's a lot of thermalny basins or hot spring resorts, and it's a very safe place, very close to Hungary here. It's mostly Hungarian, actually. but I have a huge house. I know it doesn't look like it because I'm just in the corner of my room. But Greg, if you or your people happen to be coming through Zakarpattia for some reason,
Well, thank you.
I have 2 extra bedrooms right now.
Thank you.
So yeah, and you can take a dip in the hot springs.
Thank you. And I see you're a real bandera.
Yeah. We talk about this. I have a whole like Ukrainian history where I'm actually a Makhnovitsi. So if you know like the history of like Makhno and and the anarchists of Huilapala and all that stuff. Anyway, we could talk Ukrainian history and all that.
We will.
Yeah. So Greg, just to defend James there, the colours that we've had talks about this, about how they originally the Cossack colours and how they are symbolising anarcho sort of socialism. Yeah, anarcho-socialism as opposed to like hardcore nationalism. So, but he was sat there with that flag behind him. We had some like Russian trolls on the channel.
Don't listen. Don't worry about the trolls. That flag right there is flying everywhere in Ukraine. There's nothing wrong with that
exactly.
red and black.
Yeah,
People need to know the truth. The truth will set them free. That flag right there, no problem.
Yeah.
that's
And
exactly
just in case people were wondering why Matt was laughing when James was saying something quite serious earlier.
Yes, it was a joke.
There's a genuinely funny joke by a British person in the chat.
I did miss it. Tell the joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hang on. I'll actually find that joke.
I don't know. I don't want to get too anti-Trumpy.
But I must know later.
It was good.
It is a good joke. Okay, I will say it, but don't shoot the message if you like Trump. I'm sorry. Did you hear the Trump Presidential Library burned down? This is a tragedy, not only because both of the books were burned, but Donald had only coloured in one of them. So, anyway, this is not an anti-Trump.
That's why I was.
That's one of my favorite jokes in a long time. Yeah. Wow.
But that's why. Like, why is Matt laughing? James is being really serious here. It's like, all right, okay.
I was trying to look away.
Hilarious.
James, where are you originally from?
I'm from California. I was born in Sacramento.
I lived in Sacramento for 9 years.
Really? No shit. I mean, my brother lived in Folsom. I lived in Citrus Heights in Orangevale.
Like Match.com. This is Match.com, isn't it?
Stupid. I know. Well, listen, it's the same thing with Dr. Gerdes. He and I knew similar professors that he studied under, and I've known them as family friends for 30 years. It's stupid the way all this is unfolded.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, look, guys. I'll probably sort of meander to a close here because I have to go and pick up my car that's in the garage. Yes. Look, the announcement was I'm going to go to Ukraine. The even better news is that this has connected people to a greater and that's the kind of stuff that matters. It doesn't matter that I go to Ukraine so much. I will try and do my best to amplify the correct messages from Ukraine to the audience to try and make a difference in the information space. That's what I'll do. I will do interviews from Ukraine. I will be video recording all my experiences and the great work that Greg and hopefully that Pierre are doing and have done. But it's great that there are other things that are already coming out of this just from a simple 4 of us getting together. And goodness knows Matt could even end up being out there. So who knows at this point? But
Johnny?
Yes, mate.
Sorry, but would you like to interview a 102-year-old Soviet veteran who fought in Stalingrad and Manchuria, who is 1,000,000% for Ukraine?
Wow. Does he speak English?
My Russian isn't that good, but I'm up for it.
We got your Russian. Don't worry.
And we got translators. We got a household of translators. Come on.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. So look,
that would be fun.
I really appreciate all of you guys jumping on the live stream here. It's a beautiful chaos, and some lovely afternoon views from a car in Ukraine. You can't get more Ukraine than that, I guess. Is there anything? Look, actually, and from a heartfelt point of view, to all of you for your kind offers. Like, because I know originally before I'd even met Greg and James, like Matt said, look, mate, one day we're going to, I won't put his semi-Australian accent on here, but you know, I like my Aussie. In fact, I will. He said,
Put it
look,
on.
mate,
Put it on.
look, mate. When we get to Ukraine, which we will do, mate, we're going to be in Ukraine. I will, even if
put the beer in your hand, JP.
Look, mate, even if you're in your bloody wheelchair, I'm going to be wheeling you around that bloody Kiev high street, mate. We're going to be there. I'm going to do it, mate. I'm going to help you. So I said to him at the time, why, verily, thank you for Sooth. This is a wonderful thing for you to have done. And that was great. And then, you know, then Greg comes along. It's like, I look after you in Ukraine. And then James is like, you guys are welcome around my house. And it's just wonderful. So just from my own personal point of view, it's a beautiful thing that you guys are doing and that you're offering. And so thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for that.
Awesome.
I'm
Jonathan,
excited.
Jonathan, I want to know, who is your secret agent at my local pizza restaurant? Because somehow every time I go to eat pizza there now, it's happened twice. I go to eat pizza and you message me and say, hey, are you available for a live stream? So do you have somebody working there who like calls you and says, hey, James is having pizza?
So basically, I know the kitchen porter who gets to eat the half-eaten pizzas. And so what happens is I wait till you get there. I call him up and say, I call you up, say, I need you. You leave half your pizza and he gets a free lunch. Yeah. It's how we roll.
Joke's on him. All he got is crusts, and I ordered the extra spicy pizza with jalapenos. So you know how Ukrainians love jalapenos.
Right, fair enough. Greg, good luck with what you are doing. Hopefully we'll get to hang out in the next few days. Just keep up the amazing work, dude. It is just astounding what you're doing. Is there any kind of last words you want to say about that, or any appeals to people?
Well, no. The last thing I would say is, Matt, nice to see you and meet you. James, shoot me a message, and we're going to smash it. Connect. Johnny, I'm already preparing the way for you, even now. It's already in process, and I look forward to it. Let's just be talking and get ready to make a difference in a lot of people's lives. Thank you.
This thing is going down. No, thank you, Greg.
On,
yeah, and thanks, Matt, for dropping in. It's been a long time, mate. It's been a long time since we chatted, so it's nice.
Yeah, and I'd just like to say, I think actually Greg's the only one that I'm not actually subscribed to. No, not subscribed. That joined. I think, yeah. Yeah,
joined. You meant joined.
Yeah, joined. Subscribed, yes, but joined. So
cool.
Quite embarrassing now. Yeah.
This is a YouTube in loving.
Yeah.
Before you know it, Matt will have his own channel. Be like,
no, God, no. The wife won't let me. Look, I'm in the bedroom because I've lost my office. So she's going to kill me for showing the wardrobe. Yeah, I've got me. Sorry, I've got my stepfather over from Kharkiv at the moment, so he's got my office.
Just I guess as we'll leave it with Matt. How's your stepfather from Kharkiv getting on? How's he
being
adjusting
chased by
to
dolphins down the beach?
Really?
So yeah,
he's obviously having a terrible time. So that's good. That's good news. Well, hopefully he's enjoying it.
Matt, tell your stepfather, or I will be in Kharkiv in just a few hours, and I'll kiss the sign for him.
Now, just a question. You're outside of Kharkiv still, are you?
I'm en route from one front to another, but I will be transiting very. I was getting ready to speak Russian. Yeah, поеду через Kharkiv. I'll be going through Kharkiv.
I was just gonna say, when you were showing me the videos there on the corner, I'm thinking I know that place, but I can't picture it. But I know it. I swear I know it.
It's okay.
Don't. We'll talk another time.
I'm going to tell you where I'm at. I'm going to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm in Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Is that where your VPN is right now?
No, my VPN is not
it's probably
there,
Australia,
but
or the missiles are on the way.
Brilliant.
All
Right, guys. Well, look, thanks so much. Thanks, Greg, for tuning in via good old Elon Starlink. So thanks for that, matey. That's
you,
Musk
guys.
I was talking to. But thanks, Greg. Thanks, James. Thanks, Matt.
Slava
Take care,
Ukraine.
everybody. And more
Thank you.
more to the point here with regards to my audience. Thank you, guys. Thank you for supporting me, supporting the channel, and for supporting, hopefully, what I'll be doing in Ukraine as well. It means an awful lot to me, so thank you. You guys are welcome to stay on the line for as we say goodbye. But in the meantime, guys, the audience, take care, till the pips, and I'll speak to you soon.
Double botching you.